This comes after our investigation began yesterday to uncover why the sirens didn't go off in Jefferson County during that severe weather. We've heard from a lot of viewers upset all over the county, and we are working for you to find out what happened.
Wave 3's Elizabeth Donatelli joins us live at Pleasure Ridge Park Fire District with more. Liz?
Yeah, guys, well, I spoke with the major personally here, both on the phone and in person, and he said his conversation with MetroSafe was brief. He called and asked if they were going to sound the sirens, and the person who answered the call simply said no.
Dispatch, they notify us by radio, they knock us out to make sure that we're up and ready to go.
Major Robert Williams at PRP Fire says he was on standby early Monday morning during a tornado warning, but the sirens weren't going off, so he radioed it in around 4:35 a.m.
I got on the radio, they asked radio, are they going to set out the sirens at that time, and they said no.
MetroSafe Executive Director Doug Hamilton said they never got the radio transmission from the National Weather Service, and he doesn't know why.
While we rely on technology to tell us many things, we can't depend upon it for 100% reliability.
But in this case, there were 20 people in MetroSafe and TVs in the room broadcasting the tornado warning. Still, no sirens.
I'm sure more than one of them had to think, gee, I didn't hear the EAS radio go off. And so to know that you can't depend upon it 100% of the time.
It being technology. He said they will remind staff to use their eyes and ears in training and equip everyone with a Metro phone with email alerts as a backup from the National Weather Service. But what about the firefighter who called it in himself?
That I don't really know what transpired. So I would like to hear that to be able to go, because I can't explain why everyone go, no, we're not doing that.
Now, we put in an open records request to get a copy of that radio transmission to find out exactly how that conversation went as well. Hamilton said he is going to be listening to it as well, but in the meantime did encourage firefighters to continue calling in when they did see a problem. Reporting live in PRP, Elizabeth Donatelli, Wave 3 News. As for that investigation, it found the reason the dog overheated was because of a problem with the truck. Harley D, a 5-year-old white boxer, died a terrible death back on May 25th after he was picked up by a Metro Animal Services truck. An internal memo shows when the worker took the dog out of the truck, he was turning blue and struggling to breathe. His body temperature, 109.7 degrees.
It's like when I open the door in the morning, I kind of look, see if he's up on the couch or something like he wasn't supposed to be, But, yeah, I miss him bad,
The dog's owner, Dan Priddy, said he's been trying for weeks to get someone to explain to him what happened. Then he called Wave 3 for help.
But this is a copy of the officer's run sheet.
We sat down with Interim Director Wayne Zielinski, who showed us Officer Michelle Fisher's log. The dog got on the truck at 5:08 p.m. She checked on him at 7:16 and unloaded the dog at 7:32. Zielinski says the air conditioning must have stopped working in those 16 minutes.
They worked on the animal for an hour and a half. Trying to put water on it, put its pads in alcohol, which brings the temperature down.
Each hose is connected to 1 or 2 units, and if it's not working, no air gets to the animals. Now, according to the truck's maintenance records, one of the ducts was broken and rehooked 2 days later.
You can see how tall this compartment is. The fastener, which connected it to this unit, came off, and it basically fell down here to the bottom. So there was no way for any cold air to get to those 2 compartments.
Still pretty questions if the officer really checked on the dogs in the truck.
When they said that the moisture and everything just rolled out, if she checked it 15 minutes before, it seems like, she'd been able to feel the heat then.
So we took the question to a veterinarian not connected with the case, and he said yes, being locked in a hot car for as few as 16 minutes could be the difference between life and death.
If the dog was really stressed out in that truck and his heart rate is already elevated, his temperature would also rise very rapidly.
Now, we obtained Officer Michelle Fisher's file through an open records request, and she has 4 non-disciplinary offenses and a letter of commendation in there. But we do want to note here she will not be facing any disciplinary actions in this case. Now, 2 other employees, however, are being suspended for 2 days for trying to cover for her and lying during the investigation. Scott.
Surveillance video shows a man shoved her into a pool, but this elderly woman is also facing criminal charges herself from another incident with another staffer. Wave 3's Elizabeth Donatelli is live at the waterfront where you can see the Harbor's condominiums with this exclusive story. Liz?
Yeah, Scott, these are the condos over here that we're talking about just across the way in Jeffersonville. And over the past few years, Jeffersonville police have received many calls there, including one incident that was caught on camera, and you will only see it tonight on Wave 3 News.
I have problems with adult men taking their frustrations out on elderly women.
Attorney Larry Wilder says in January, his client, 72-year-old Betty Haley, was banned from the pool for excessive splashing, which you can see in these photos. He says she was just trying to clean off dirt and admits Betty kept swimming at the pool, but last month something happened that prompted a lawsuit.
You can see that he now is standing over her with his cell phone, apparently filming her, taking pictures. Miss Haley is trying to exit the pool. He's standing in the doorway. She tries to get around him, and that's what happened to her. He shoved this 72-year-old lady on her back into the pool as a result of her chest bumping him.
Wilder says the man in the surveillance video is a maintenance guy, upset over an open door at the pool. Court documents show the worker's been warned before for aggressive behavior, including one incident in May where police responded after he allegedly called a tenant names. Now Wilder is going after the Homeowners Association for keeping him employed. He also wants answers about these flyers posted at the condos of Haley with horns.
Betty Haley was wanted, dead or alive, and in parentheses, dead preferred.
Wilder says Harbor's condominiums told him they checked surveillance video but didn't find who posted the flyers. We also want to point out here that Haley, that 72-year-old woman, is facing a battery charge. According to the police report, she swatted things off of the desk of the property manager over there at the condos, and she also tried to drag her out of the office. Now, once again, these